Anyway, today, once again, it's the 27th day of the 30-day cycle, and it's a moon, and so it's really interesting. And so we know that from before, the 27th day is a day of reverence, ceremony, and lighting the sacred fire. Sacred fire is within each one of us. Fire is always another symbol for light. So, reverence, ceremony, lighting the sacred fire. Yes. Okay. So back. And the nakshatra 19. Nakshatra 19. Mula, the root. Once again, dealing with foundation. The moon is in Sagittarius. The tail of the scorpion is the star name that's involved in this. And the meaning is good day for investigation, truthfulness, and directness. So, doing my best here. Okay, so then we get back here, and the moon is, there's 13% of the moon. The moon is at 28 degrees Sagittarius in the Western Tropical Zodiac. That means that it's basically conjunct the galactic center, so there's a certain amount. Several years ago, I was on, once again, I was actually stuck on Maui for 5 days because there weren't any planes going out. I was flying standby. I had to go back to the nude beach I was camped on and camp out for another 5 days. Oh, bummer. And every night that I was there, I got woken up before dawn, before first light. In my dream, I would hear this: wake up, wake up, and look up. And eventually I did, and as soon as I opened my eyes, I found myself looking into the center of the Milky Way galaxy. I'd never really paid much attention to it before, but and as I did that, I started to get this really grandmotherly kind energy. Just I was experiencing this yummy kind energy, and it happened every night for 5 nights. And so I know that the galactic center is conscious. It's a pretty vast consciousness, and that it's a point of tremendous harmony and peace. So the moon is there. The moon goes. There's this energy of reflection and almost need and desire. So then the moon in the sidereal zodiac is at 3 degrees Sagittarius. So there, take that. Once again, the need for expansion and opportunity, because Jupiter, Sagittarius, and that's why we're scrounging around here, trying to expand our opportunities. So when you come to the end of the calendar pages, something miraculous occurs. Oh yeah, you'll see at the end here. Okay. Also in the book, wherever the Conscious Evolution Day Global Sunset Meditation are, they're listed in blue. So on December 31st, there's one for sunset and one for midnight. And yeah, so that's those. And then we come to the I Ching Lunar Oracle Calendar. Now, where's today? Today is January 30th. You'll notice that within each line of the hexagrams, there is the Gregorian date, the year, and the day of the week, which was so much fun to type. I'm so glad that I don't have to do it for another couple of years. And so you're thinking, what the heck is this thing? This is another reason why I published this book, because Okay, McKenna. In 1995, when I was studying, the Mayan calendar, Jose's version of the Mayan calendar, he, talks about the I Ching and how the I Ching fits into his version of the calendar, and also, and in researching that, I, came across this notation. Terence McKenna and his brother Dennis, in 1975, published a book called The Hidden Landscape. And, he was an ethnobotanist. I think he worked for Harvard or Columbia, something like that. And they were down in Central America working with, shamans and mushroom cults and sort of stuff. And somehow I didn't read the book, but I read this one paragraph where he's talking about how the I Ching, the 64 hexagrams of the I Ching, are a Mayan calendar. Our Mayan calendar, are a lunar calendar. And I was like, well, how is that? How is it a lunar calendar? That doesn't make any sense to me, okay? Until a couple of years ago, like 3 years ago, I figured it out. So these are the 64 hexagrams of the I Ching, right? The word I Ching means the Book of Changes. The Book of Changes means basically there are 64 states of change that somebody observed a long time ago, and these hexagrams attempt to symbolize those states of change. Now, for each hexagram, by its very name, there's 6 lines, right? So 6 times 64 is 384 lines altogether. We stack them one on top of the other, right? The synodic cycle of the moon, 29.5 days. That's lunar to lunar phase, full moon to full moon, right? 13 times, 13 lunar cycles, lunar synodic cycles, 383.5 days, rounded up to 384 days. That's how it's a lunar calendar. That's what came to me a couple of years ago, and I was like, whoa, that's pretty powerful stuff. And all that, everything I just said, it's all up in written down in here and everything like that. I'm just giving you the Reader's Digest short version. So here's all the math that explains, how this is a lunar calendar and all that sort of stuff. I'm not going to go into it. Here you have the each hexagram is made up of what's called a trigram, basically 3 lines. Each line represents a day. So here's a list of the 8 trigrams. 8 possible trigrams: heaven, water, earth, fire, wind, lake, mountain, thunder. And underneath them are the keywords for each one of the trigrams. So heaven means air, sky, creative, divinity, idea, father, excessive energy, thought, celestial, ethereal. Right? I'm not going to read every one of these, but you get the general idea. Okay. So if you look at, let's go back and look at today. We are in, what do I say, the January 30th, okay? And you can see that it's heaven on fire, right? The hexagram number 13, and in this hexagram, the way that you read a hexagram is you read from the bottom up, meaning that the 3 days, the top 3 days or the trigram, top 3 lines are the old energy, and the bottom 3 lines are the new energy that's seeking to emerge up through and displace, supplant the old energy. Okay, so when this 6-day cycle began, it was established as heaven, right? Which is sky and idea and all that, very ethereal and all that. And now we're in the middle yao, the middle line of the 5th day of the cycle, and the middle line of this 3-day cycle, and of the 3-day cycle of fire. Fire is light, and also action, right? Taking action. So it's about another way of looking at this is, we have we have all that, we spent 3 days in the realm of ideas and all that kind of stuff, and now it's time to take action on those. And hopefully by tomorrow we will be able to culminate that energy into the bottom yao, because that's the focus of these hexagrams, is that the 6-day cycle, it's made of 2 3-day cycles, should culminate on the 6th day with the full manifestation of the energy potential of those 6 days, and what that state of change is attempting to do. And the key words for what that 13th hexagram are is the gathering of people. And if you think about the way that I try to interpret these hexagrams, a couple things. One, it looks like it's a possibility that the Chinese didn't actually invent this, but they inherited this system, and that these, I think it's pretty amazing that there are no other calendrical systems I know of that recognize a 3-day or a 6-day cycle, and yet what we have here is an ancient calendar that is focused on these charting these states of change and energy potential that are 3 and 6 days. And another thing that's interesting to me is that the way that we experience time is, from past to present to future. But the way that these frames are read are from, there's like another wave of energy coming from the future through the present into the past. So that's, I think, is pretty amazing. So let me get a little more into the roots of where McKenna took this. Okay, here we have the 64 hexagrams of the, and they're arranged in what's called the King-Wen sequence of the 64 hexagrams. There's any number of ways of arranging these, but this is a pretty popular way of arranging them. And then the arrangement is they're basically paired up, and then somewhere about we know of the I Ching going at least 4,000 to 5,000 years. And then somewhere around 2,500 to 3,000 years ago, somebody started to actually number them, and which is a pretty relatively recent thing to number the hexagrams. And so we have the in the King-Wen arrangement, they're in sequence, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, so forth, right? So what McKenna said is, if you arrange them in what's called the magic square of 8, from the numbers from 1 to 64. Now the magic square of 8 is something that Ben Franklin, the first Grand Master of the Masons in America, the discoverer of electricity, the first ambassador to France from the United States, he is supposedly invented or discovered magic square of 8, and what it is if you arrange all the numbers from 1 to 64 in this particular arrangement, what's unique about it is that add them up horizontally or vertically, they all add up to, so all the numbers going this way add up to 260, all the numbers going down this way add up to 260. What's significant about the numbers 260? Well, that's the same number of days in the Mesoamerican calendar, the Mayan calendar, the Solcan. It's also the amount of time that roughly that Venus spends as the morning star, and that Venus spends as the evening star. And it's really close to the human gestation period of 9 months. So crazy. Anyway, so once they're in this arrangement of the magic square, McKenna said, okay, then if you connect them, once again you try to connect a line in sequence. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so forth. What you end up with are these really interesting designs, these little squiggly arrangements, this pattern, right? He calls it time wave, and it's somewhat of a cosmic pattern. And you notice how it's fully manifested on this side, and then it's connected over here, and it does the same thing again. and then connects down here. Um,